Have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow richer, while others work just as hard and barely get ahead? The answer often lies in how they use real estate. Real estate is not just about owning a house or collecting rent checks. For the wealthy, it's a strategic tool to create long-term wealth, generate passive income, and leverage opportunities that most people never even consider. Today, we're going to dive deep into exactly how the rich use real estate to build wealth, so you can start thinking like an investor, not just a homeowner. The first key strategy the wealthy use is buying properties that generate positive cash flow. Most people buy a home purely to live in it, thinking of it as an investment. But the reality is, a primary residence rarely generates immediate income. The rich, on the other hand, focus on properties that can pay for themselves and then some. For example, they might purchase a multifamily property where the rent from tenants covers the mortgage, taxes, and maintenance, and still leaves extra profit in their pockets. Positive cash flow is the foundation of building real wealth because it provides ongoing income without having to sell the property. Let's break this down with a real example. Imagine buying a duplex for $300,000. Each unit rents for $1,500 per month, totaling $3,000 in rental income. If your monthly expenses, including mortgage, insurance, and taxes, amount to $2,200, you're left with $800 a month in profit. That's $9,600 a year just from owning the property. Over time, rents typically rise, while your mortgage remains fixed if you have a traditional loan, meaning your cash flow increases without extra effort. Many beginners underestimate this power because they focus only on property appreciation rather than the monthly income it can generate. The second method the rich use is leveraging other people's money to invest. Most people think they need a huge down payment or thousands of dollars saved to invest in real estate. But the wealthy often use financing creatively to maximize their returns. By taking out mortgages and using other people's money, like bank loans or investors, capital they can acquire multiple properties without tying up all their cash in one place. This leverage allows them to multiply their wealth faster. Consider this scenario. You have $50,000 saved. You could buy a single $200,000 property with a 25% down payment, leaving $150,000 available for other investments or renovations. Now, imagine using the same $50,000 as a down payment on multiple properties through different loans. Each property generates cash flow, appreciates over time, and allows you to scale your portfolio exponentially. The key is understanding debt management and ensuring that your properties generate enough income to cover loan payments. This is where financial discipline separates the wealthy from everyone else. Next, the rich often focus on tax advantages and legal structures that protect and grow their wealth. Ordinary homeowners often pay high taxes on income and capital gains. But savvy investors use strategies like 1031 exchanges, depreciation, and LLCs to minimize taxes and reinvest more money into real estate. For example, depreciation allows investors to deduct a portion of the property's value over time, even if the property is increasing in market value. This can dramatically reduce taxable income while still building equity. Let me illustrate this with an example. Suppose you own a rental property valued at $500,000. The IRS allows you to depreciate the building excluding the land over 27.5 years. That's a yearly deduction of roughly $18,000, which can offset your rental income and reduce your taxes significantly. Many people overlook these opportunities because they don't understand tax laws. But this is one of the biggest reasons real estate is a preferred wealth-building tool for the rich. Another strategy is buying undervalued properties and adding value. Wealthy investors don't just buy homes in prime locations and hope they go up in value. They actively seek opportunities to increase a property's worth through improvements, renovations, or better management. This is known as value-add investing. By identifying properties that are underperforming or neglected, they can apply their expertise, time, or capital to increase both cash flow and property value. For example, Imagine buying a small apartment building where the units are rented below market rates and the property needs minor renovations. By updating kitchens, improving landscaping, and optimizing rental prices, the investor increases rental income and overall property value. Once the property reaches its potential, they can refinance to pull out some of the equity and reinvest in another property, repeating the cycle. This method allows the wealthy to grow their portfolio and profits faster than relying on market appreciation alone. The fifth tactic the rich use is diversifying their real estate portfolio. Most beginners think real estate is about buying a single rental property or one family home. The wealthy, however, spread their investments across different types of real estate: residential, commercial, industrial, and even specialized niches like storage units, senior housing, or vacation rentals. Diversification reduces risk and creates multiple income streams, which is essential for long-term financial stability. Consider someone who owns a mix of residential rentals, a small office building, and a couple of vacation homes. If the rental market softens, the office building or vacation rental income can balance the losses. Commercial properties often have longer leases, providing stable income, while vacation rentals can generate higher profits during peak seasons. This multi-layered approach helps investors weather economic cycles and continue growing wealth without depending on a single income source. Another key approach is buying real estate in emerging markets or areas with growth potential. Many people focus only on high-cost, already established markets, thinking that's the safest path. But the wealthy often research demographic trends, infrastructure projects, and economic development to find underpriced locations that will appreciate faster. Buying early in these areas can lead to massive gains as the region grows. For instance, imagine purchasing property in a city where a new tech hub or transportation project is being developed. Prices are still low compared to nearby established markets, but in 5 to 10 years, demand skyrockets, property values rise, and rental rates increase. Early investors capture these gains without competing with buyers who focus only on high-profile areas. It's all about vision, research, and timing qualities that distinguish wealthy real estate investors from ordinary buyers. The rich also understand the power of long-term hold strategies versus flipping. While flipping properties can make quick profits, it's risky and often requires expert timing and market knowledge. The wealthy often prefer to buy quality properties, hold them for years, and let appreciation, rental income, and debt pay down accumulate wealth steadily. This strategy is lower risk, provides predictable income, and allows for compounding growth over time. To illustrate, imagine buying a rental property for $250,000 with a mortgage. Over 15 years, even if the property appreciates only modestly at 3% per year, the investor not only gains equity through appreciation, but also benefits from mortgage payments, reducing the principal. Combine that with cash flow from rent, and the total return can far exceed short-term profits from flipping. Many investors underestimate the compounding power of holding income-generating properties over a decade or more. Another crucial principle is strategic partnerships and networking. The wealthy rarely invest alone. They build relationships with other investors, lenders, contractors, and real estate professionals to access deals, reduce costs, and scale faster. Partnering allows investors to pool resources, share expertise, and access opportunities they might not reach individually. For example, two investors might team up to purchase a larger property than either could afford alone. One might handle financing and contracts, while the other manages renovations and property management. Together, they generate wealth faster than they could independently. Networking also provides insider knowledge, such as upcoming development areas or off-market deals, which are often unavailable to the general public. Finally, the rich understand the psychological and strategic mindset of real estate investing. They approach it with a business perspective, not an emotional one. While most people make decisions based on attachment, fear, or trends, wealthy investors analyze numbers, risks, and potential returns. They plan exit strategies, understand market cycles, and are patient in waiting for the right opportunity. This disciplined approach allows them to capitalize on opportunities that others overlook or avoid out of fear. For instance, during a market downturn, the average person might panic and sell at a loss. A seasoned investor sees the same scenario as a chance to buy undervalued properties at discounted prices. By keeping calm and strategic, they position themselves to profit when the market recovers. Wealth in real estate isn't about luck, it's about preparation, research, and consistency over time. Real estate is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools available, but it requires knowledge, discipline, and strategic thinking. By focusing on cash flow, leveraging financing, taking advantage of tax benefits, adding value, diversifying investments, targeting emerging markets, holding properties long-term, forming strategic partnerships, and maintaining a disciplined mindset, the wealthy consistently grow their wealth, while most people remain stuck in a cycle of working for money instead of making money work for them. If you want to build real wealth through real estate, start thinking beyond the home you live in. Look for opportunities to generate income, leverage smart financing, and plan for the long term. Learn the rules of the game, take calculated risks, and be patient. The path isn't instant, but the results can be life-changing. If you found this video helpful and want more strategies to grow your wealth with real estate, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I share insights, tips, and strategies that help beginners and aspiring investors take real steps toward financial freedom every week. Don't just dream about wealth. Start building it with smart real estate investing today.